his effort tonight?
Hers was good. He was really good, especially in the first two periods. I want to see our goalies lock it down a little bit more in the third, both nights. But look, like none of those goals were his fault. He was really good.
Coach, what was said at the end of the period there to have you tossed?
I just applauded.
You're 2 for 3 on the power play tonight. What do you think was working there for you?
Yeah, I mean, a lot was working. It was unfortunate we didn't get one there in the third, right? It was the second unit, too. So really good to see those guys get a couple and get on the board.
Were the issues that led to last night's loss the same as tonight?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think we felt good. Like tonight was our guys just got gassed. We took too many penalties, right? So, and it was we were killing with Shim. He took one. You're killing with Smoley. Mo took one. So it just seemed like everybody that took a penalty was one of our four forwards we primarily killed with. So it gassed us. It really gassed us there in the second, and they're just so deep and so good. And we needed to get out of the second. We made a mistake there in the D zone late in the second, and it was guys that usually don't make them. And I think we just kind of cheated a little bit, and our wingers left the middle of the ice open, and they made us pay and cut it to 3-2, and then came out in the third, and unfortunately, I think Dowder fell, and and it was really 1 minute that changed the game between the end of the second and the start of the third, and that gave them all the momentum that they needed. They played really well. That's a great team. Like that could easily be a national championship team. They're very good. They just keep coming at you in waves, and you make too many mistakes, they're going to make you pay, and that's exactly what happened.
Coach, North Dakota's forecheck was very relentless all weekend long. What were the adjustments trying to be made?
Yeah, I thought last night they got to us more on the forecheck than they did tonight because we were better in neutral ice and we were forcing them to, especially in the first and second period, 5-on-5. I thought we were in the first period for sure forcing them to dump, kind of not bad pucks, and it was easier on RD to get back to them and get out clean. But so our neutral ice I thought was better tonight. But they're just a tenacious forechecking team. They come at you in four lines and they can all skate. And like I said, that's a hell of a hockey team.
What was the thought process of scratching Wahlberg tonight?
Say it again.
What was the thought process of scratching Wahlberg tonight?
I just wanted more energy on the forecheck with Akili.
What presence did the crowd bring to this weekend?
Crowd was incredible. The crowd was incredible. Students were incredible. We gave them two really exciting periods both nights. On the third, both nights got away from us. It felt a lot like Penn State. It's really just unfortunate. You could say those are the four biggest home games of the year. We didn't get a win in any of them to date, and we had the lead in 3 of the 4 going in the third. If you would have told me that at the start of the year, I would have never believed it. But it is what it is. We got to learn from it and push forward.
Closer netted his first goal of the season. How important is that for him moving forward?
It was awesome. Yeah, we're starting to get some production from the back, which is huge, and we're going to need it with the guys we have out up front. And you could feel Potsy's absence, today. Just the speed that we're missing and the ability to drive plays, and that's usually 22 to 24 minutes that we're reliant on with that kind of dynamic player. So. We're just they're going to have to adjust, and guys are going to have to continue to step up. I thought that Morel's line was really good tonight.
With as gassed as this team was tonight, do you still feel the same about the depth on this team top to bottom?
Yeah, the depth is good enough, but when you take as many penalties as we did, it kills you. It doesn't matter how deep you are. We got tired, and that's probably the deepest team in the country. I don't know if there's a deeper team than North Dakota. With how they skate, and they're physical and they just wear you down. Really, really impressed with them, and they're just going to continue to get better and better.
You talked about the importance of these last 6 games, the 6-game homestand. You guys went 3-3 over that trip. How would you rate your team's performance?
This weekend we did a lot of good things. I thought both games were clearly winnable. We didn't get the job done. They found a way, we didn't. Other than that, it's disappointing. If we could have got through at 4-2, I think we would have been really happy. It felt like we were going to do it tonight. It really did. I think that there wasn't a doubt on that bench, especially when we went up 3-1. we felt really good about our game, and the kill was really sharp, and then we just made a mistake there at the end of the second, and it really just turned everything for us.
One more question.
You were hoping that Lincoln Keene would be healthy this weekend. Can you give us an update on his status?
Yeah, he just kind of re-aggravated his injury a little bit in practice this week. And the only way it's going to heal is if he stays off it, and we're hoping that the rest over the weekend will allow him to do it, and we'll probably keep him off the ice for a couple of days early next week and hope that when he gets back on midweek, he's healthy.
Thank you.
Thanks.